Hello guys, this is Chase back with another LEGO Star Wars video. Today we are looking at the January 1st sets of 2025. This is super exciting, so let's get straight into it with the Acclimator Class Assault Ship. This is set 75404. It's 450 pieces and it's an 18 plus collector's set. Now, looking at this Acclimator, obviously with the UCS Venator, a lot of people would like to get a UCS Venator mini ship, but the Acclimator's a good match. I like it. I just hope they don't mess up the stickers like they did on the Venator UCS set. I hope that those engines in the back don't sag. Overall, I think this is a pretty good mini build. I'll be picking this one up. I don't see anything wrong with this one, but we're about to look at the top view, and we can see there's going to be 4 engines, 2 on each side. It's going to have a gap in between those 2 top wings, which I'm not too big of a fan, because I feel like when you get to the mini build, you should be able to clear that gap. Overall, the stand looks great. They've been using that stand for a long time, and I really like it. It just says Acclimator Class Assault Ship, which is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. So overall, I really like this set. This set comes in at about, I think, $60, which is a little expensive for 450 pieces, but as you can see on the back of the box, it shows some artwork. It's got thumb tabs and basically the artwork on the front of the box. Now we move on to the Home 1 Star Cruiser. This set's 75405. It's 559 pieces, 18 plus, also a buildable starship and a mini ship. This one's a little more special, and I like this one definitely a little bit more. Either way, I'll be buying both of the mini ships, but let's get a closer look at the build. So you see the same stand, so I'm not really going to go back on touch on it and repeat myself, but overall, there's not many studs on this ship, and that is what I like. That's what I like to see out of a mini 18 plus collector build. They really tiled it off, made it look nice, and overall, I don't see a problem with that. But I see a few studs, which I feel like you're either going to go all studs, some studs, or no studs. And I feel like they tried to go no studs, but they still left some in, which, yeah, it's not too big of a deal, but it does kind of, I don't know, make me rethink this set a little bit. But I do like it. I think a lot of people just always thought it was a gray blob. So I like that there's coloring. Obviously, to the right, you can see the B-class frigate, which we already had a mini set on some while back and was pretty hard to get. But now you see you're going to get a mini version of it, which I think is awesome. I also think they could have just remade this little mini build off to the side and made it the big build. But either way, this one is pretty good. On the back of the box, you see one thing of artwork with the B-class frigate in it and a little scale, but that's it. Now, my favorite set and probably the most worth your buck set of 2025, this is the Grou and Pod. It's $100, and it's about 1,048 pieces, which is pretty good. You can see this hover tram is super good. It comes with a stand. I don't think you need to use it. This is where I get mad. That hover tram for the minifigure is horrible. We've seen it so many times, they can't put the same one on the plaque. I feel like it would be 2 extra pieces. I just don't like that. I think they should have never had that happen. And whoever designed that plaque, that's bad. Overall, as you can see from this picture, the Grou does fit in the hover tram, which is nice. And overall, you get some little accessories, a frog, a Grou. Pretty good set, worth the buck. Obviously, from the back here, you have 2 dials, which go for the arms, and the head moves up and down and around. So that's pretty good to me. On the back of the box, you see those features. You see the full set. And moving on to set 75401, this is Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor. It's 290 pieces and the most overpriced set of 2025. This is coming in at $45 for an 8+ Interceptor. I see no reason that they should have made this Interceptor $45, even if it has some cool figures, and they're pretty good. Like, starting off with that Ahsoka, that's a pretty good figure. I'm not going to complain about the lightsabers too much. I don't think it's that big of a deal. You can see that those legs, those mini legs move. I think that's super cool. The Anakin, pretty generic, but also a good Anakin. And then that astromech droid, I'm really liking that astromech droid. I'm hoping that it incorporates back printing, but I know we're not going to get that. So that's a little bit disappointing, but the green and maroon look great. Overall, to this Interceptor, you can see it's basically the same as the Interceptor that we got for Obi-Wan years prior, and that's pretty good. Now down here, I think they did a pretty decent job of hiding all the stuff under, but I feel like there should be 2 lightsaber handles, either way. This is kind of not the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's a little bulky on the bottom, but overall, this set looks like it'll be a lot of fun for a lot of kids to play with. It's just super expensive, which I think is a drawback point for a lot of people. Also, I see that they've changed the cockpit a bit. I don't know why they did that. I thought the other one was pretty good. So on the back, you can just see the play features, thumb tabs, set number, and a little scene that you can make. Now, my favorite set, the 75402 ARC 170 Starfighter. It's 497 pieces, 9 plus, includes 4 minifigures, 3 pilots, and an astromech. This is a remake, but I think a well-needed remake. They needed to remake this one, and I'm super excited that they did. This is coming in at $70. So overall, a little expensive. You can see you're going to be able to fit all 3 of the minifigures in. Now, when I'm looking at these minifigures, I don't know. We'll look at them, but this set, it feels a little small for $70, which is okay. I feel like the play features are good, and I feel like it's going to work. But I feel like it's just, I don't know much about the ARC 170, but I don't really know. Now, these minifigures, it seems like they printed on a full gray on the hip. And I've heard from a lot of other people, and from my own opinion, they could have dual molded legged those minifigures, which would have worked perfectly. And they should have done that. Now, for the play feature, you're going to be able to push this pin back and forth to open and close the wings. I think that's a fine feature, but when you're flying it around and you want them open and you accidentally push the pin because you're holding it from the bottom, I feel like that's going to be problematic. Now, these flick fire missiles, I think they're good, but I feel like they're a little bulky and they could have cut back on that, but I also think that's the landing gear, so I'll let it slide. So on the back of the box, you just see some play features, the set number, the minifigures, and the thumb tabs to open it. It's a pretty good set. I like it. I feel like all these sets are a little expensive except the Grogu and Hovertram, but it's good. It's all right. I think this set's going to be good for a lot of people to play with. I think they need to kind of fix up their pricing, but because I know that they're not making these prices for other sets. Now, to the 4 Plus set. This is obviously one I won't buy, but this is set 7410. It's a 92-piece Mando and Grogu N1 Starfighter. It looks horrible, but it's a 4 Plus set, so we're going to let it slide. But there, you see that hoverpram that Grogu's in. That's the correct one. That's one that we're not getting in a $100 set. I feel like a little nitpicky about that. So obviously you're getting the Mando. They've pretty much perfected it in my opinion. It looks pretty good. And then you're getting the same Grogu, which is awesome. The Grogu's great. And you're getting an astromech droid, which looks pretty cool. Now, you can see this ship. It looks pretty good. It looks like something you would build as a kid with extra spare parts, which is pretty nice. I think for 4 Plus, this might be a little too complex, but then again, I don't know. So you can fit Grogu and Mando in. I think it's going to work really well. I see a few things, like the engines look a little odd, and those one-piece blasters looked a little odd. You got a little play feature with the droid, which I think is super cool. And on the back of the box, it shows you the 2 big 4 Plus pieces and all that you're getting, and some thumb tabs to finish it off. I think all these sets are pretty good on a wide range. I think they're a little expensive, but overall good sets. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with more LEGO Star Wars videos. Bye.